G'day and welcome back to the Upside Fantasy Sports Podcast. This is focused on NRL, Supercoach and Fantasy. Tonight is a TLT Blitz. I just recorded 40 minutes of awesome content and the audio didn't work because I'm an idiot and closed my Connect panel after fixing the audio. So yeah, I did my testing protocol and then changed what I was doing. So I'm an absolute idiot. So I've just gonna have to go even quicker than what I already do, guys. So yeah, basically, if welcome back, and if you're new here, this is a TLT Blitz. I run through the team lists and touch on all the key hot button topics and names, and share insights that come to me and that I've picked up from the Discord during the weekend and stuff, from guys chatting about stuff, and I just share that publicly. If you're also new here, the thing we also do is each week after the TLT Blitz, we do the matchup previews, looking ahead at the NRL weekend ahead with the data that I run through a model that basically tells us what positions have good matchups. The accuracy has been pretty bang on. I'm really stoked with it, really happy with it. Helps you with sit starts, captains, trade-ins, all this sort of stuff. So yeah, perfect thing. So that's an insight into this week's first matchup. As you can see, my little mouse thing, just to give you a bit of a teaser, but set the bell icon for notifications. If you like this video, if you like that one, chuck a like on the YouTube. But yeah, you've got to be subscribed, hit that bell so you know when to come back and see it each weekend. Game one. I have to go so quick, guys. I'm so sorry. Like, I've just spent 2 hours prepping and recording only for it to have nothing. So for me to get my life back on track, I need to do this super quick. So yeah, Blake Tarp is in. I'm not interested in him. Jarrell Skelton, he'll probably drop out for Stephen Crichton as Karaz might push to the wing. But Skelton, I've mentioned him before. He's in your black book. He's just a stud Supercoach player of the future, potentially, if he can figure out his defense. Jacob Preston might come in if he's considered healthy. Being 19, I think bodes well for that. And maybe Lip Boy, Hot Boy drops out. So if you're holding Preston, you can probably keep holding Preston. But if he comes onto the bench, yeah, it sort of sucks. Trindle comes in, which benefits our outside backs on his edge. Well, Trindle's still there, but I'm just saying the fact that he's still there is really good. Sifa Talakai is a play with Teague Wilton at 21. I don't know how well that bodes. He was targeting this week with the AC joint, but at 21 rather than being at 18 or 19, I think means that Talakai might be the plug-in this weekend in that respect. I also should mention at the end, we'll run through the waiver wire list and the plugin list in total. If you are listening on Spotify, that'll also be visible in the YouTube description. So if you listen on Spotify but you want to double check it, pull up the YouTube link in there and chuck a like on the video too if it helps you out. Next game, Warriors, Bronx. Tristan Saylor, great plug-in at fullback. Xavier Willison could potentially play big minutes, so if you're needy at front row, he's an option. Wade Egan's affected by Lussick on the bench, and I don't like Egan going forward given his head knocks and injury issues. Chanel Harris Tevita, he could do a job for Sean Johnson, owners as a handcuff at halfback for you as well. Next game, Fletcher Sharpe, he's must own. I think you got a waiver for him if you're a Kalen Ponga owner. Otherwise, yeah, he's still probably a waiver to get you till round 22, which gets you into the finals. He should deliver. Will Pryce, really interesting speculative waiver this weekend. It's really a luxury waiver. I always say luxury hold, but he's someone if you really just got a ticket and you just want to see what he's about, and if the positional requirement matches your needs, you can throw it at Will Pryce and see what sticks. Kai Pearce-Paul and the circus of 2RFs at Adam O'Brien's behest continues. Absolutely frustrating, absolute shit show. Kai Pearce-Paul and Dylan Lucas are absolute studs. At the end of this video, if I remember, I'll chuck up an updated model run through of all the sort of fringe 2RFs that guys are chatting about in the Discord that I ran for them this evening. I'll chuck that up, and the model just still loves Kai Pearce-Paul and it loves Dylan Lucas. Dylan Lucas because he's been playing a lot more than Kai Pearce-Paul lately, and Dylan Lucas has also crossed the line a bit more than Kai Pearce-Paul, but they're both studs, so we love them, but we do not love this exercise in uncertainty from Adam O'Brien. On the yield side, Hands is affected by Arthur, so if you're a Hands owner, monitor that one. Sean Lane and Cartwright start on the edge. Cartwright's a must own, Sean's a monitor. Ryan Madison, he's a speculative one, keep an eye on him. He could potentially play big minutes if Joe Offahengawe only takes the sting out of the game. The bench does bode well for Regan Campbell-Gillard and Junior Paulo if you're front row needy. And I still think Blaize Talagi should be owned in leagues. I don't know why. That's just a feeling I've got. I think he's sick and talented, and he's on Mitch Moses' edge, which I love. Next game, Jack Howarth playing in the centre is really weird. He's 2RF eligible in Supercoach, so that's an interesting one. He's more of a speculative watch. Supercoach sort of bustling sort of player, could convert in this team. I don't know how long he stays there. Remus Smith was on the reserve, so he could be back sooner than later. But yeah, just want to monitor there. Jack Howarth, I think he's got a bit about him. Trent Loiero, I've been talking about. I think he does a job for you at 2RF. This bench doesn't sort of bode well for Trent Loiero, but maybe his consistency still earns him 60 minutes. The Sean Bloor headaches continue as he's just got so much promise and he's just not delivering the last couple of months. There's been bits and bobs, but just not like what we sort of saw at the start as his potential Supercoach game. I'm not talking about the Raiders. There's nothing changed, nothing interesting. Hammer's named to start. That's really fascinating. Tezzy New is a good plug and play because the Dolphins are left edge dominant, which is good for him. Keano Leilua is named. From memory, he has a good matchup this weekend, but I don't think he'll play with that AC joint. The Dragon side, there's not a lot there to mention, but yeah, if you're a Leilua owner, just keep an eye on it. Dylan Edwards is named. Not sure about that with Dane Laurie at 14. It might just be that Edwards starts and Laurie, plays the last 20. Don't know how that'll pan out. Don't know if that's for sure. We haven't seen Edwards back up from Origin because he's not done it before, so that's also fascinating. We'll just see how it goes. Cole and Luai, but Schneider at 18 is really confusing. Is that to cover Luai if he doesn't pull up well? Yes. Or is it to play for Cole, and this is a bit of smoke and mirrors? Not sure. Liam Martin's name, but he's also carrying an injury. Will he actually play after Origin? I doubt it. I think Yowie does play, though. They do need that control in the middle of the field. Liam Henry's the one to watch in terms of coming in for Martin and playing big minutes. Lindsay Smith usually benefits after Origin as well, so he's one to, potentially look at a plug and play in a deep league as well, but yeah, that's situational. Notice that Lukey and Finafuiaki have a bench makeup that benefits them as sort of playing bigger minutes. They both have a bit of upside, but they both have a bit of risk and they can disappear. Finafuiaki can disappear from a Supercoach perspective, and Lukey is injury prone, but he's put a few weeks together now, which is nice to see for him, the young fella. Last game of the round, James Tedesco is named again. That's obvious, but I'm just saying it because it makes me feel good as an owner. Terrell May, what a gun, just celebrating it, taking my flowers for him, absolute weapon. I've held him all season, got him for $1. Saw the talent last year, went all in, and he's got me a couple of round wins due to hitting upside at front row, which is just so sick. Collins is on the bench, which could impact him, but yeah, we love Terrell May. Whether I have to hold him for the rest of the season, I don't know. Maybe I do. But yeah, he's just such a beast. Connor Watson ruins the Nat White experiment. Sorry about recommending him, but I always said that there was something to be considered with Nat White. Like, it may not pan out, but yeah, I think you can move on from him, unfortunately. I know there's a question at the end. I'll get to it right now. Nat White, he can go, mate. If there's any smokies around, I'm not sure. You're going to have to tell me who's available in another question, or hit me on the DMs in any platform that you have me on, and we could chat about what your options are, but I think you move on from Nat White here. Adam Doueihi, I think he's a waiver. He's 5'8", I think, eligible. Not sure. He won't make dual position eligibility, but yeah, definitely can jump on Doueihi as a speculative. He just got a bit about him. This isn't probably the matchup for it, but yeah, definitely have a stab at him. Remember, the Tigers do have a bye in the finals run, so he may not be there when when you need him most, but I think he's got potentially trade value if he keeps hitting upside. Sam Finan, another one I want to celebrate. I said to stick with him through that quiet period, and it's paid off. He's got a really nice 4-round average with only one try in it, which is really cool, just showing that he's a lot of Supercoach about him for years looking ahead. He could definitely be a viable value buy in next year's draft if people sort of slept on him. He had a bit of classic hype, so they probably don't, but in terms of draft, people forget that sort of stuff. I feel that's just my experience. Like, I've gotten Teague Wilton for fucking bare bones every year because people just don't put value in those fringe guys. So yeah, keep that in mind next year. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that was last week. Okay, I've already answered the question. I have to go because the freaking, you know why. Thanks, guys. Remember to tune in, set the bell for the matchup poddy, which will release either during Origin or the next day for the weekend ahead. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for all the support, and go Queensland.